So today I'm going to talk about banking. This is a bank. What it does, it takes your money, not anyone's money, takes it to the bank, lends it to someone else, charges interest, gives you interest, takes a cut. The only problem is, at the moment, banks are not lending. Now I think this is it's a community problem, and it could help with regeneration in this area. A different way of lending money is peer-to-peer lending, where everyone gives a little chunk in here. It's this thing, it's uninsured, so you can't get insured, lends to a guy, and he will then pay back the person, and there's less people in the way, you can get a better interest rate, better cut. But what I think is, there should be some sort of building where you can do person-to-person lending, where you can meet people, decide whether or not you want to lend money to them, talk to them, meet them face-to-face. So it's like the opposite of sort of like the internet. It's like you're actually meeting people face-to-face. This is mine. I was looking for precedents where this might work, and what I found was the Royal Exchange, which in 1565 was the first time. All it basically is a big public square where merchants would go, meet in the middle, chat about what they wanted to invest in, who they wanted to invest with, and they would do so there. There's office buildings around it. It's just a plaza at a square. But I was also interested in how there's kind of the third place between work and between home, where you can go and meet other people to think about lending the money as well, and that's Lloyd's Coffee House, which was nearby, and that is actually what became Lloyd's, the insurance brokers, which you'll know from the Richard Rogers building, which started as a coffee house. So I was trying to think of how I could make something like this, where people could borrow money from rich bankers to sort of spend on regeneration schemes. I looked at the site, and I saw that it's a very connected site, apart from to walk to. It's the only way I could see it wouldn't be very well connected. And I kind of was thinking about having something in one of these places like Stratford, Abbey Wood, which would be connected by a crossrail, Poplar, where are all places which need a bit of investment. But really, I'm thinking more about bringing people in from these places to come and give them a reason to come to Canary Wharf and to meet people who've got a bit more money than they have and see if they can get some money out of them. And I was looking at these squares around the Canary Wharf, and I think there's a lot of scope for some sort of improvement there. It's still quite nice, this one. I don't like. And I was also thinking about how there could be better bicycle routes into the centre of Canary Wharf and how that can help people come in. I think that's part of what it's getting. So I was looking at these parks. There's Jubilee Park, which is quite nice, I think. Canada Square, also quite nice. Cabot Square, which is the first place we went to, which I kind of think, if we go back to, I think it's a bit of a lit down from this sort of main entrance here. It doesn't really sort of make much of a statement. I mean, that's it there. So I'm thinking this could possibly be my site. And I was also thinking about how you could sort of bring London into Canary Wharf, and I was trying to think about things that would make it make it feel more like London. And I was thinking about things you only see in London. I was thinking about big things, or yeoman warders, in the correct title. And I was thinking about how you could create space. It doesn't have to be through a building, but through perhaps like uniforms. I don't know if you saw any of these sort of security guards or information people at Canary Wharf were there. Anyone see them?
Yeah, all suits.
Yeah, all suits. You wouldn't notice them. So I was thinking about bringing them in. I was also thinking about sort of like types of squares and piles which I kind of like and sort of represent this kind of third place thing. And this is the British Museum, and it's the central sort of square. The reason why I like this one particularly is because if it's raining, you can still go in there and eat sandwiches, whereas if it's raining in another square, you can't do that. So I was kind of thinking about how this kind of space can come to the wall. So I kind of thought about how you might get in, about what sort of limitations spaces. What I didn't really like about this sort of area is that it's kind of raised. It's sort of, there's nothing really going on around here on this ground floor. So I was kind of thinking about how that could sort of come to this sort of space and how it could be made more like that. And I kind of like the idea that when you're in this sort of place with incomplete buildings there, you've got to think about the roof as well and what sort of thing happens here. So part of the way this scheme is going to work is if you need to borrow money, and you walk in here, you'll start flashing because of spotlights like this. Your banker will be able to see you from here, see how many people there are then who need money, come down, talk to you, see if they want to lend you some money. They might do, they might not. Here's that scenario as it works. We have a man here who needs some money for an investment. We have a man here who's thinking about having a bit of a flutter. He looks out the window, he sees some people flashing pink. He goes down, meets them. I've called them John and Dave. He decides his plan, he likes the idea, he's really thinking a bit of a gamble on it. The beefeater writes that down, takes the fee. He goes off, does his scheme, he goes back, he feels good about himself because he's given a bit of money back to the local community. And I kind of like the idea that the building shouldn't just be about a place to do this sort of thing, it should be more about how you can you can go there and you can get some money, but you can also do the work there and it can sort of build on that. So this is kind of like an insourcing idea, and I was trying to think about the spaces that you would need. 1 minute. Okay, and that's kind of what I've worked into a more sort of rational sort of plan. So there's spaces for collaboration, concentration, participation. Because the idea is that all of these businesses and people who come here have got to be better connected. So there's these spaces that have got to sort of like promote sort of like shared working and sort of connection. And there's sort of auxiliary spaces there like cafes as well where you can go and sort of mingle. I'm sort of trying to sort of like think about how it would sort of work in this kind of sort of sense of building. I don't know, I'm sort of thinking about sort of more sort of solid sides and something more temporary over the top. Because I like sort of like a sort of temporary feel to it. And then I got to this is like my sort of like very basic sort of concept of what it would be, but it's just, and that's fun.
I like the kind of